Early in the trading week, I think Euro AUD is like an awesome opportunity to do that. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this live call, and like where to place your stop losses, where to place your take profits in relation to that. And I think it's going to be good, man. So we got, let me know if you guys can see my screen here. And let's see. Let me open up MetaTrader. Anybody else looking at dollar Mexican right now, man? It just straight losing. And we could, I'm targeting this 78.6% retracement down here. So I'm hoping for a bit of a buy, like some sort of bounce in this zone. So what I've been talking about, and so Mark's in the accelerator program too, and I talk a lot about zone trading. So looking at these, what's called supply and demand zone. So this is where you'd see a lot of buyers, a lot of sellers in this case, and down here, potentially a lot of buyers. So where there's a lot of buyers is where there's going to be a lot of demand at that price. So it's an easy way to remember the concept of supply and demand and not overcomplicate it. Let's see. I want to make sure you guys can see my. Can you guys see my charts now? Okay, cool. And yeah, if you have any questions, just hit me up in the chat box. So let's take a look at Euro AUD. What Mark and I were talking about. I think this is going to be a good setup for the week here. And because specifically, and Mark, yeah, you weren't on our accelerator funding call, but this is an awesome way to set up your trading and your account for the week, right? So if we're looking at in terms of, we have to follow this set of rules for the FTMO challenge. If we're in a challenge like you are, it's good to set up a good long-term position early in the week, especially like once you do get funded, because you know you have to close out your positions by the end of the week, right? So if you can situate yourself, and I just kind of, actually Johnny and the group really, that's why he crushes it so hard. He establishes a big position early in the week. This is an awesome strategy, and then holds that position so he has positive equity to work with. So so in other words, like Euro AUD is a great example because like one, we've been consolidating here for a minute, right? So once you see a big ass move like this and then a retracement down, man, it's this, and this area holds, more than likely, like statistically, the odds are that we're going to get a move higher, right? So this is super important because now we've established, well, this is our support here. And in terms of putting a stop loss on using a zone for a stop loss, which is the topic of this call, you know, if we're going to put a long-term trade, we could set it somewhere down here. But in terms of more short-term trade and in terms of FTMO, and Daniel just hop on here, so he'll know what I was talking about, right? So Euro AUD, we got a retracement down, right? And so we're back sitting on this kind of support right here. So what we want to do is we want to position ourselves for a long-term hold. So like say you're starting off with 100K and it's the start of the week and you can get a position here. So say you did maybe 5 lots and you got it up to 100 pips in profit, which is easy to do with Euro AUD because the pip range is so large. So 162.68. So then you're hovering at 163.68. You would be in profit 5,000, right? So then you'd have a surplus of 105,000. If you held that trade, that would mean your daily drawdown limit of negative 5,000, that would mean you have 10,000 to work with all of a sudden. Does that make sense, Mark? Does that make sense to you? So, okay, cool. Because and for anybody that's not, going through funding or working with or has been funded, you have, once you do get funded, you have a certain set of rules to follow, right? So if you have a $100,000 account, you can't hit within a month, you can't hit 10,000 in loss, right? So obviously you can't lose, right? But you can't have a drawdown of 5,000 within the day. So this is really the hard part, especially for traders that want to get funded, but not just get funded, stay funded. And this is what I teach in my accelerator program, and this is one of the biggest parts of it. So if we can find a good trade, like I think Euro AUD here is going to be one. You can go back at our weekly charting video. If you can snag a good entry here and then be running in a surplus, right? So hopefully Euro AUD takes off here. We have a nice kind of X marks the spot area, which I teach in the academy. If we were to get into surplus here, it's a good idea to hold trades in profit early in the week. So then you just have so much more breathing room to work with. So for Mark, like, you got down, now you're back at par now. So say it doesn't have to be Euro AUD, it could be gold, or it could be UJ or whatever it is. Say you get a good trade with a decent lot size, you can hold that trade to 2, 3, 4,000 in profit. So now your max daily drawdown is still 95 to 95,000, but that means you have 9,000 to work with in terms of drawdown. And obviously you don't want to be putting trades on that huge to where 9,000 is like your daily range, right? So now if your range is still in between 2 to 3,000, you still have a ton of breathing room and you're not sitting there at the computer sweating. And plus you're already in profit, say 4 or 5K, add on another 2 to 3, right? You can leverage that amount of breathing room you have to use a bigger lot size. And then at the end of the week, hopefully close, that's how you get those 8% weeks, 10% weeks, and, can really cash in big. So let me know if that makes sense. There's somebody in the chat box. Khaled, oh, yep, cool, man. I'm glad you get that. So this is a huge thing about how you can manage your risk, but still be in profit. So it's a really great strategy. I think Euro AUD, just to bring it back to what we're actually trading right now in the VIP, I think Euro AUD is an awesome opportunity. And Diogo, yep. Thanks, man. So you can see we have this zone right here, right? So why is this zone significant? Okay, so we had a breakdown right here and just a straight sell-off, right? And so you can see on both sides, we have what's called clean traffic, right? There's no resistance on the way down. And then we start to find some in this area here. We get a little bounce and then a further breakdown. But you can see this area right here was significant, right? So this is a big zone. We broke down above it, and then you can see we ranged a little bit in there. Break down, break up, and you can see this is a significant area. And, right, so we bounced off this area on Sunday and retraced down, and here we are back at it, right? So we have this trend line coming on the downside here, and we have this trend line on the upside here. We're following our fractal points, right? And we have a nice X marks the spot. It's not perfect, right? I would like it to be a little more cut and dry, but with the range that Euro AUD has been in, I think it looks pretty good. So I think it's a matter of time before we break out of here. But we'll have to see. We might range a little bit more. I think that depends a lot on the Aussie right now. Let's take a look at Euro USD. So we caught a good move. Daniel will remember this from our live call yesterday, right? So we had this, we're in this little formation here. channel. We have a breakdown, which is a false breakdown, and we're filling out these wicks. Are you guys having problems hearing? Dan, okay, somebody was. Kamal, you might have to check your, see if you're muted. But so you can see we're in this little, we're making what looks like a flag, right? It looks like a flag formation. Whether or not we break out above here, the thing is we had false breakdown, and we're moving to test the upside here. So the way I trade, for anybody that's in my Facebook group that's new to my style, is I'm a big correlations trader. So I see what I would call this a clue, right? We have a clue for euro strength. I was just looking at euro AUD. It's long overdue for a bust higher. And now here we are in euro USD. We have this this big wick here on the daily. It's a wick, right? So we'd probably fill this out. I wouldn't be surprised if we get one last push up here. I mean, this would be a classic 3 drive before we move lower, right? So we get a move higher to flush out all the people, and then potentially a move to the downside because of how divergent the RSI here regardless, I think we'll just continue to range within this flag pattern here. So in terms of using zones, which is the topic of this webinar, I would say you'd want to have it tighter than that. But if you're just looking on a daily time frame, you can see these wicks. This would be an ideal place for a stop loss below this zone. But maybe you want to trade more short term. Maybe you just want to scalp. So what I would do in terms of that, I would still use the same technique of finding these areas, these key specific areas where we were once resistance, now support, and we can just go back in time. This is even just a 30-minute. We can go back and see how significant this was all the way, the whole time we've been in this pennant, right? So now we can go to the 4 hour, and you can see this area within this range. So if you're looking to scalp, man, this would be an excellent scalping opportunity inside of here. So, and then of course the flip side of that, we have our zone up here, right? So I think these big horizontal areas, the market's respecting way more right now than it is a lot of diagonal trend lines, because you're seeing a ton of false breakdowns, a ton of false breakouts, and finding these areas in between here, especially in a range, has been super effective for me, especially in terms of scalping or getting entries. So so this is what I see for potentially for Euro USD. So that covers us on Euro AUD, Euro USD. So now we want to look at what are the big fib charts from high to low of are you looking inside the flag here, Mark? Well, if that was the case, yeah. So 78.6% retracement here would be an awesome target. Plus, good call, dude. Man, your fib game is strong, Mark. We're bouncing right off this 38.2% retracement here. So, yeah, great call. So, so if we're looking at the euro, we put the pieces together with Euro AUD. Here we are in Euro USD. Well, where is another place we've had a massive move in the euro, right? So it's been euro pound. Euro pound had this huge breakout. And for my accelerator traders that are on here, if you're on Forex Analytics in the morning webinar that we catch, Dale was talking about EG, right? So, and he thought maybe this was a bit of a retracement before we moved lower, and which I thought was a pretty interesting interesting call, but regardless, we still haven't back tested this breakout line. So if we're thinking that we might get one more push higher in Euro USD, man, EG right here looks like a really good buying opportunity. And as I look at it right now, I'll tell you why, right? So yeah, we're already at the top here, and a lot of people would be like, man, why wouldn't you sell it? It looks like it's going to retrace, but I think we might get one last push to the upside here to really shake out all the people that would be short before we got to move to the downside. So, and if we want to go, so this is the best way to look at it. We get a macro view, and then we go micro. Here's the 4 hour, here's the 1 hour. And then if we even go in here to this 30-minute, which I personally prefer the 30-minute on entries. I would watch for this little level right here, which looks like a breakout, right? It looks like it's setting up for potentially to make that last move higher before, actually that looks like a damn good trade right there. I'm actually gonna just enter it myself. So I'm entering in on EG, nothing huge because it's the end of the New York session. So especially at the end of the day, you know, you don't want to get too aggressive because there's a lot less volatility in the market. But I'm going to go ahead and send out what I call a scout trade, right? So it's a scout. It's nothing. We don't want to leverage the whole house, right? But we want to put our foot in the water. And a lot of times I like to do these trades too, because once I'm in it, then I got a little bit of skin in the game. You know what I mean? So now it's on my radar and I'm watching it. So, you know, it doesn't matter what the size of your account, but maybe you just want to put like 1/10 of your normal position, or like if you're going to put one lot, put 0.25 or 0.3. So then once you can really like see that, get some confirmation, especially in like another session once there's some more volatility, that, yeah, this is a breakout, which it looks like to me. What do you guys think? You all like this setup? Because we go to Euro USD, it's bullish. We go to Euro AUD, it has potential for bouncing higher. And I'll show you a little secret too. It's not really a secret, but you can also do technical analysis on your indicators here, right? So I learned this from Steve Volge on the in Forex analytics. But you know, if we see this RSI spike higher past this little formation here, that's going to be another signal that, yeah, we might get some more bullish momentum here. So you can really tell it on the hourly and on the 30-minute where this chart is, right? You know, it's well beyond wanting to break out. So the RSI is already signaling that we're going to move higher. So in terms of using a zone now to set my stop loss, I would just look for these wicks here, particularly these fractal points, and set it somewhere around here, plus our target whenever we have a breakout, especially from a kind of a triangle-like formation, which I'd say this is, or you could even go like right here, small descending triangle. Typically we get we'll at least retest the top of the triangle formation. So that's got us at 60 pips. Diogo, divergence with RSI. Yep. I wouldn't so much consider this even to have as much of a chance to become divergent. So to answer your question about divergence, you know, we just had this move higher. I mean, this isn't even divergent yet, but now we get a price action move higher here. And so we have one push and then 1, 2, and this would set us up for a 3 drive, 1 push, 2 push, and then a third one higher. But the RSI doesn't confirm here, right? So let me just set it up. So say we get RSI, makes a little move here, and then we'd have the divergence. If that makes sense. Maybe this will draw it out better. And if that were the case, Diogo, especially if we're looking for divergence on here, that would be our sell signal to be like, all right, now I'm going to sell EG. And really, that would be the time for, I think it would want to make a move lower here. So I think Euro, there's a bunch of good opportunities in the market. I think especially the dollar right now. Tomorrow we're going into turnaround Tuesday, but we have to remember Wednesday is the FOMC. We got the Fed. I mean, it's not like they're going to be raising rates or anything like that, but the language around it, plus the election here in the United States in November, it's kind of up in the air what kind of how dovish they're going to be. So, but these crosses like EG, Euro AUD, Euro Yen, it's kind of hard to say, but it looks pretty weak, to be honest. So we have a bit of a downslope here with kind of a really deformed looking double top maybe. But the thing is we've been failing to take out these former highs here for EJ. So the yen's kind of doing its own thing right now. But I do like Euro Aussie. I like Euro USD, at least to fill out. I think we got, especially if we can fill out the rest of this wick, I don't see any reason why we can't move higher and then move out to this bullish pennant. So I think it's an awesome setup. Does anybody have any questions? Daniel, where are you at on your challenge? Did you start your trial?
Yeah, I started my trial. Let's see where I'm at right now. I didn't do any trades yesterday because I made a rule not to trade on market open in Asian session.
Good rule.
Yeah, I never have good luck. So I started the FTMO trial at 50 grand and I'm sitting just under 57 right now. So I've got a really nice cushion.
Nice.
And I'm just going to take it easy and be really tactful with it and just ride it out. It should be no brainer as long as I stick to the plan. So.
Good job, dude. Good job. Yeah, and so anybody that doesn't know, I help traders to get them funded with outside capital. We have an amazing group of traders, a lot of success. The program's brand new. We've only have about 12 people in there, and it's growing, and we're having a ton of success. I show you exactly how I've gone and gotten funded with FTMO and various other funding capital firms out there, and show you step by step how to get in the right mindset, how to find a strategy that works for you, and then how to stay accountable with getting funded. So, I mean, it's awesome. It's an awesome program, and I'm super proud of all the guys in there. So Vidal asked, what time frame do you find best to look at? So what I said at the start is I look at them all, dude. I look at them all. I don't really trade the minute or the 5 minute, but I start out, I look at monthly time frame. So just to use an example for Euro USD, we can go on the monthly here and see that, all right, so we have this breakout on the monthly, and then I just go more micro, right? So there's our monthly outlook, there's our weekly outlook. So there's no denying that we're in a breakout here. I know this looks like a mess, right? So then I go smaller, right? So every single day though, I'm looking at the daily chart. I'm looking at the 4-hour chart. And then for my entries, typically I'm looking at a 30-minute. And this is where I like to enter because it's not as all over the place and changing as a 15-minute, but the 30-minute seems to be like reliable enough. Let me put it that way. So thanks for hopping on, everybody. I'm going to be doing these more in this Facebook group and try to get it as active as possible. So you can post in there, so whatever you're looking at, go ahead and post it. I'll take a look at it as well and let you know my analysis on it. So thanks for hopping on. If you have any questions, shoot me a message, and shout out to Daniel and Mark, my accelerator traders. Thanks for hopping on here, and I'll see you in the VIP group. All right, everybody. Peace.